Hey, it's Herculesa, and I'm going to make about a 5-minute video on what's in my head. And I apologize in advance because sometimes it's really confusing. But I think that some of the things I'm going to tell you, even if you know them already, everything is designed for us to work together and come up with a theory and then prove it. And so these things I'm going to talk about came to me today, and I'm going to provide some links so you can research them. I'd love help on understanding what I don't know. Okay, so this is a timeline, and the 5G rollout is the plan. And this kind of explains a little bit about why there's a lot of people out there that don't think like I do, and I can't understand it. Because, I wouldn't let Joe Biden babysit my dog and be responsible for my pet, much less in charge of the country. And we all know this. There's a whole lot of people that have a Biden sign in their yard. So there's people who are asleep, but they're really living in a distorted timeline, which is over here on this side, right? All this stuff over here. Because this is being presented to you, and this is what they do about it, and this is how they get you. So, sounds creepy. On this side of it is the optimal timeline, the one we're hoping for, that Trump is working for us. And for everyone, really, even the people who are asleep. Okay, so I have a few notes. I'll try not to be too wordy because I know that I am very wordy. One of the first things I want to note, when they roll out this 5G, okay, some things are going to happen. And I noticed that over here they have quantum tattoos, smart vaccines, smart dust, and biofield hacking. The smart dust stood out to me as what the hell is that? And since it's 5G related, it's got to be technology. And sure enough, it's nanotechnology. And I'd like for you to read this because my thoughts are, if you breathe it in, if it's dust, when they flip on the 5G, what will it do? That is the question. The next thing that stood out to me was, really the optimal timeline is here, where now today Trump has coronavirus. They've tested positive, which we know that's going to put him in a sealed protective state for what's coming. So it's Red October. This looks like it's next, and I hope it is. But the martial law thing is a little scary. I know it's for our safety, I'm sure, but still a little scary. All right, the feds, the treasury, and the gold-backed currency. I think that Saint Germain looks like he's in the way of Nasara. I don't know what that means. And I'd like for you to consider going and reading up on Saint Germain. This goes back a really long way, and it's connected to a lot of stuff that maybe I didn't realize. In particular, the Age of Aquarius and the Ascension and the occult sort of thing. I'll provide the link as well. And under Tesla 5G, just like the internet, people can use it for good or use it for bad, and so 5G might be the same. It might get us in space and do all kinds of cool stuff, but they can also use it against us. But the Covfefe, this is just my reading up on information, right? The alloy of iron and the components from the earth that make up this alloy. And so it got me to think about the Eiffel Tower is it's its source of its own power, and it's referenced as the Iron Lady of France. It also has a pendulum called Foucault's pendulum, and it's a measurement device on the earth. And so I encourage you to read that and then look into Champ de Mars, which is the field right beneath the tower. And so all these things, and there's a Tesla connection, of course, with this tower. The next thing I want to tell you is that, or remind you, is the history of the Statue of Liberty. So was this the Trojan horse of freedom? Because we've been enslaved for a really long time by the French and by the British monarchy. So is this them laughing at us, saying, here you go, we'll give you a false sense of reality, a false sense of security, a false sense of freedom. And there you have a timeline distortion versus what's real. The last thing that I want to show you is the connection for CERN, because I'm going to do a whole video on this. But there are some very interesting things, starting with the location of it, that you should look into. And CERN sits on the border of Switzerland and France, and there's all kinds of interesting stuff that I can't wait to tell you. I'm trying really hard to put it into a video, but I'll put all these links in somewhere, and I Thank you very much for sticking with me, and I hope you guys have a great day.